Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with Me, and we're going to do Melina's challenge for, I guess it was last week. It wasn't this week, I'm sure, because I'm behind on everything. But before we get into the video, I want to say thank you to a few people that have donated through Buy Me a Coffee, and that link will be below if you want to check it out. It just helps support our channel and bring you more videos. It is Ratliff Teresa, TMTRSUL, I don't know how you would pronounce that, Connie, Linda, R2 Rugs, Pam, Irma, Carmen, Grandma Taylor, Poppy's Patch, Karen, and Linesborn 0126. Thank you guys so much for your support. We really appreciate it. And don't forget to go over and download your freebies. There'll be another one up there today, and you should have your code and everything to get into the website to download those freebies for the Buy Me a Coffee people. Now, what Melina did was used just some old magazines to make pockets with. Pockets for our journals. So I have got just some old magazine pages here. I love this. I may not even cover that. I think that's pretty, and this is part of it too, so I may not cover that. But I just grabbed some magazine pages and some old book pages. These are like, that's an old, this paper feels so good. That almost feels like material. That is an old recipe book, looks like. But I've just grabbed some different ones out of here. You know, some of those will cover up. So we're going to make some pockets out of this. And then I have a little pile of scraps over here because she did cover some of hers with scraps. But like I said, I don't think I'll cover that one. I kind of like that view there. And this looks, I don't know, it looks kind of like Italy or something. I don't know. Somebody who lives there might can tell me. So what she did, and you can use any size that you want, and you can do these any size that you want. You don't, I just took this paper and tore it in half. And then I'm going to fold it like this, just so this overlaps just a little bit across. That is all you want. So I'm just going to fold it like that, because I'd like for my pockets to be a little bit wider. If you want them to be narrower, then just fold it on over a little bit more. So we're going to do that. And I'll probably, I'm trying to think, I don't know if I'll stitch around mine or not. I don't know. You'll see in the little pictures at the end of the video if I stitched around it or not. And then she just took a little bit and folded it up at the bottom. You can measure and you can drag out your scoreboard if you want. She just folded hers up, and I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm not too good at folding sometimes, but they don't have to be perfect, because this little piece is not going to show. And then all I'm doing is cutting off the pieces. See, here's my score line right there. So I just cut off up to that score line and then angle to that. And then you're going to do the same thing on this side. And just cut off the score line part right there. And leaving this little bitty tab at the bottom. So I'll hold that out so you can see it. And then you just fold these back down. We're going to use some of our art glitter glue here, I think, if I can get the top out of it. Some of my things have been so long since I've used them, I don't know if they're going to work anymore. When they're used to getting used every day, and then all of a sudden they haven't been used in a week, so they're like, we forget it, lady, we're not going to work for you anymore. Okay. So just glue that down like that. And then we're going to do the same thing on the bottom, like that. Now, that is going to be the back of our pocket. You can either glue these down directly to your page, or you can use them as a clip-on or something like that. I'm going to glue mine directly down, so I'm not going to worry too much about the back. Now, I'm going to punch a pull in the top of this, and I was just trying to look around to see what... I think I'm going to use my little oval punch here. I like it when the pockets are a little wider. See, I like that look that it gives there. Okay, and now Like I said, I don't think I'm going to cover this, but I may put something on it, like a little label or something like that in a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this one together. This is just one that I played around with before I started the video to make sure I knew what she was talking about. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue that one down. So I hope you guys are doing okay. We're doing pretty good so far. So far, so good. And then there are two, and we'll just lay those aside. I'm going to grab a different sheet, different kind of sheet, and that's going to be, we'll make more pockets. Now this one is quite a thick paper right here, and I'll definitely cover this because I don't really want anything about cooking in this journal anyway. I might make a recipe journal and I would want something about cooking in it, but not this one. And I'm just going to tear mine. You can cut it if you want. I think tearing almost is good. And then this little ragged edge here, I'll just make sure that folds on the inside. So that's not a worry for me. And I'm just making sure that this side laps over just a little bit across that one. Like that. So let's make up a few of these. We'll kind of mass make, and then we'll come back and do some decorating on some, and I'll show you some different ways that we'll decorate these. Now, as far as the height of your pocket, you can make it as tall or as short as you want to. You don't have to have yours this tall. If you want to make them shorter, then you can either cut it off or fold this bottom on up. I like mine about this height, so that's okay with me. And I'm just going to cut that off. And as you can see, it doesn't matter if this cut is exactly straight because it's going to be covered up by that. So don't worry too much about that. Don't fuss over it. And then fold this one over. Instant pocket. Now you can wait till you cover all this to cut your little pulls. I probably should have done that, but I'm going to go ahead and do some covering on this. Now, like I said, I have all sorts of scraps over here. They're not anything the same size. They're not the same width. There's just different pieces, and I'm just going to kind of try to incorporate some different ones through here. They may and may not completely match, but I don't really care if they completely match, as long as they look pretty good together. So all I'm doing is raffling through these over here. I'd like to have a piece of that on there, but I'm going to cut it down. I don't want it quite that wide. I think I'll cut it to about 1.5, looks like. And then that'll be a good piece for another. Let's do this way. Let's make sure we get our wording the right way up. So we'll go like that. And then I need one more piece at the top. All right, let's go that route. And then we'll put a focal point on here when we get to that part. I'm gonna pull my little glue mat over here because I seem to be getting glue everywhere. And then all we're gonna do is trim these off. And if you, when you're trimming off the edge to keep from cutting your little envelope back open, if you'll turn your scissors a little bit under like that when you're cutting, it will keep you from cutting that envelope back open, or usually it does. Sometimes I still get a little wild with my cutting. Yeah, I think I will stitch around these just because it'll help hold this edge down. But I'm going to go ahead right now and see if I can cut this little pull out. That's a very thin paper there, so I didn't think it would cut good, but that's okay. We can round it out with this, with our scissors. Oh, Brooklyn came over yesterday. I have to tell y'all the tales of Brooklyn. She came over yesterday and stayed with us while her mom went to Birmingham, which is about an hour, a little over an hour away from us for her follow-up exams. Well, she was sitting out here in the shop with me, and she said, I really think that I need some material to make my baby dolls. She loves the baby dolls. She's got, I don't know how many, to make my baby dolls some clothes, and she wanted to make them a blanket and a bed and I don't know what all. Well, I said, okay, I've got plenty of material. I'll give you some. So I gave her a little bag of material. Well, Brendan's desk is behind where she was sitting. So she had her material out there, and Brendan was sitting at his desk working, and I said, now you better watch, because Uncle Brendan loves material and he'll grab that material from you. She was like, Nene, no, he doesn't like material. I said, yeah, he does too. And she said, Uncle Brendan, you better not steal my material. Well, he said, oh, I probably won't. I'll let you have it this time. Well, she had turned around. She wanted me to print her a coloring page. She has an attention span of like 2 seconds. So she's all, into one thing, out of another, and into that, out of another. I mean, she just constantly is going and doing different things. So she wanted me to print her a coloring page because she loves to use my markers to color. So I printed her a coloring page. Well, she was turned around away from her material, coloring on her coloring page. Well, Brendan had our little, we call it a getter. It's one of those long things that you can reach up high in the top of the house, and the end of it squeezes together so you can pick up things. We use it to get, packages and things off shelves. Well, he had that at his desk, and so while she had her back turned to her material, doing her coloring, well, Brandon was reaching over with that getter, and he was getting her material one little piece at a time and hiding it from her. Well, I saw what he was doing, but I sit there just smiling to myself. She never did see. She was just singing and humming and coloring. She was having herself a good time, just not paying any attention. Well, Papa came back in. He had been outside walking, I think. But anyway, he came back in. And she said, Papa, I want to show you my material. Well, she turned around to the desk where the material was. And she looked and she said, what happened to my material? It's gone. And Brendan said, well, maybe you left it over at the other desk. She looked and she said, no. And she said, Uncle Brendan, give me my material back. So we had a big laugh over that. And then of course, every time she comes over here, she wants everything, like kids do. Well, she was wanting this and wanting that, and so I said, okay. Well, she got her some of this, and she got some of that, and then right when she started to leave, she brought a bottle of gesso to me, and she said, I really think I need this gesso. And I said, baby, do you even know what gesso is? And she said, of course, Nene. I watch YouTube videos where they use gesso all the time. And I said, so do you think you need gesso? And she said, yes, Nene, I need gesso because I am having to paint, and some of my painting surfaces are not so good, so you need to prime it with gesso. I was like, I looked at her mother, looked at Alicia, and I was like, when did she grow up? When did she get so smart? Alicia said, don't ask me, Mother. She said, that kid learns everything off of YouTube. She said, I've threatened to not let her watch it anymore. She said she is constantly coming to me with different things. We need this, Mama, and we need that, Mama. It just blows my mind, some of the things they come up with. And how do they learn it so fast? They learn it off of YouTube, so I don't know. If you don't want your kids to know too much in the world, don't let them watch YouTube, is all I say. which they've got her blocked, you know, where she can't watch the bad stuff or anything, but still, it just makes you wonder. I mean, they're so smart nowadays. I would have never even known to think about that when I was 9 years old. But yeah, I need to prime my surfaces, she said, and I said, prime? Do you not even know what prime means? Of course, Nene. That's so that my paint will hold. I said, okie dokie then. Alright, I'm not liking that one. So far, I'm rejecting a lot. Let's see. And I didn't pre-cut all my pieces beforehand. So I may just kind of cut out some of this that I'm doing where I'm cutting my pieces here. I think that one will be pretty with a focal point on it, so we'll go with that. Let's go with that one. And then I think right at the top we'll put this one. So needless to say, the child left here yesterday with a full box of goodies. And before she left, she said, now, Nene, don't forget to take these items off of the inventory. And I thought, how did she even know about that? Where did she learn this stuff? I said, you're getting too smart. You're going to have to come over here and start running the store for me. And she said, okay, but I'll have to wait till I'm out of school because I can't miss my school lessons. So I said, okay. I said, but as soon as school's out, you're going to come over here and do my inventory for me. Don't forget to take that off of inventory. Of course, you know, I would have forgot probably if she hadn't told me. Okay, I'm going to do about probably, well, I'll probably just do this one and then we'll decorate some. We'll put some embellishments and things on them. And I just leave mine like that, press them down good, and then trim off. That's easier for me than trying to think about going in there and measuring every piece and putting it down. So we'll just do it this way. And then these can be some good pieces for the next one. And you don't have to run them all the way across. You can just run a little piece. Like if you had a piece like this that didn't go all the way across, just put it down and put another piece at the end of it. So it doesn't have to go all the way across, I don't think. I don't think that was one of the rules that Melina said. Of course, you know there are no rules to crafting. You do your own thing. But this is just a good way to use those little pieces of paper and things that in magazines that you have around your house that you're not going to use for anything else. I mean, I probably would not put this. I wouldn't put that in my journal, but I can use this for the background to make some pockets and things. So let's go ahead. I'm going to ink mine up and then we'll find focal points to put on these. Do a little bit of embellishing. Okay, I think I want this down the side and I'm going to just cut that down through there, I believe. Or tear it. I'll just tear it. And these are just some pieces that we had for sale not too long ago and they all sold out, but I'm trying to order more. I loved these little packs. They had lots of goodies in them and they weren't very expensive either. But I'm trying to order more. I'm hoping that they have more at the supplier. And I could have torn around the edges here too, but I didn't want to lose very much of this. So I'm just kind of cutting jagged. I think these were called, I know a lot of you got them because we had a ton and they sold out. And I think they were called deco papers and it had all different kinds of things in there. Yeah, I kind of like that. And then I think we'll look for a flower to put on there. Maybe a Tim Holtz flower. What do you think? Let's do that one. This background has a little bit of red and yellow in it, so we'll just do that one. And I'm also going to bring in Just a little piece of doily. I was trying to see if I had a scrap, but I don't. So I'm just going to cut a piece of doily, I think. I'm going to use half of it. Yeah, that's how we're going to do it. So I'm going to ink around this because it's got that little bit of white showing, but you don't have to do that. You can either trim it off or just leave it like it is. I just don't like that little white border, and I don't want to spend time trimming it all right now, so I'm just going to ink it up. And this is from the Tim Holtz Botanical Collection. We have, it's Botanical Ephemera. We have some of those in stock, I'm pretty sure. And anytime that I'm saying any of this about, you know, we have this in stock, or we have that in stock, or we sell this in our store, I'm not trying to just promote. Not trying to get you to buy. I just have so many questions at the end of my videos. Where did you get that? Where did that come from? What is that? So I figure if I kind of go over it in the video, then maybe, you know, everybody won't have so many questions about it that they'll already know. And I try always to leave links below. But if it's something from our store, all you have to do is just go to the store link, which is right below every video, and then just type in, you know, like Tim Holtz or something like that, and it'll pull up all those items. So, all right, we need a label or something there to kind of balance this out. I'm going to trim off the side. Got a few different colors going on there, so putting a label down I think will help it. I'm just going to see if we have a little label in here that will work. Need one that's skinny and long. Let's see if we have a label in here that would work. Okay, I don't mind that one. Let's see about this tealish bluish. Nope, it's not the same color. I was hoping it was the same color as that, but it's not. So let's just go with that one. And those are Tracy Fox labels. And I'm just going to clip the corners on these because I don't like that squared off edge. I'd rather have the corners clipped. Sometimes I even trim that complete edge off, but that's okay with me for it to be like that. Alright, so there is that one. I like that. And we won't make tags in this because I have tons of tags that are already made. I basically needed pockets. Now, if you don't care, if you don't want that showing in there, or you know, you'd rather cover it with paper, you can. I'm not concerned with it. I'll ink a little bit right there and let it go at that. It's good enough for me. All right, let's go ahead and find something to go on this one. And this is a good place to use some of those larger butterflies that you just can't seem to find a place for. This is a good place to use those. I'm just trying to find one that will work. That one, I don't like the orange in it on it. That one I like pretty well. So we'll go with that. And then I think I might put a pink doily behind this. These are our doilies that we sell in the store. So you can, now the little doily that I showed a minute ago, we don't have those in the store right now, but we got exciting news coming for you. We may be able to have those in the store before too long. I can't guarantee it, but we're looking into that option. So stick around. There's lots of things coming. Lots and lots of things coming. All right, so I think I'll put that there, and I need a label behind him. I think we might go with that one. That's one of the labels that I stamped. All right, I'm going to let that hang off just a little bit. I'll probably cut it off. And we'll put that there, and then our little butterfly that I can't pick up, we'll put him there like that. I think that'll work. Yeah, I guess you know, when you've got a lot on your mind just almost shuts down, or mine does. You know, everybody's might not be that way, but mine has just about closed. Put that there. I don't know, I might wrap it around. That would look okay, I guess. So there is our little doily, and I did put a little ink on it just because I wanted to tone it down just a tiny bit, because these pinks are a little bit toned down. And then, and I just stamped this on some paper that already had some wording and things on there. So that's just an outline stamp is all that is. All right, again, I'm going to ink around this butterfly to cover up this white. You don't have to do that. I know I say that all the time, don't I? Stop saying that, Edith. Okay. So there is that one. And then, you know, I want some bling in the middle of that butterfly because he looks kind of naked. And there we go. There is another. Isn't that cute? I like these, Melina. Good job, girl. All right, let's do something with these. Now, I don't want to cover the whole image up, but I do want to cover a little bit of it up. All right, I'm going to see what this looks like. It may not work, but we're going to tear around this. I'll still have my boat there. Yeah, I don't mind that. So we'll put that there, and then have some type of focal point on top of that. Okay, I'm thinking about going something like that. Got just a little piece of a ticket. Slide that under, and then this is just a little circle with a 13 in it. So let's go ahead and let me see. I'm going to glue this in, and I want to tuck this up under there like that, and that just kind of offsets those angles there to keep it from just being right angles. I think that's what you call it if I still remember any of my schooling, which is very unlikely. All right, and then I still got my ships like that. Okay, right, so there is another, and then we'll do this one. Let's see, I do want to cover part of this up, so we may go with this side of that little piece that I just tore. Do it this way. All right, let's try something like that. I kind of like that because this looks like an old map or something. Just little bits and pieces. I don't fret over things not exactly matching, because I don't think in a journal everything should match. So I don't worry about that. Especially a junk journal. You don't care if everything completely matches in your junk journals. To me, that just looks like an old map that's got torn around the edges. I like that. And we'll see. We can put this down there. I think that was actually a sticker, but I've already put glue on it now, so I'm going to leave it. Maybe it won't come up on me. Okay, let's trim this piece off and see what that looks like. We may need something else. I don't know. Yeah, I'm thinking about that. I'm still going to need a focal point of some sort. So let's see if I've got a tall flower that would work. Still be able to kind of see through, but not, it won't cover everything up, but it'd be a nice little focal point. Okay, I think I'm going to go with that. This background's got a little bit of blue in it, and then you'll be able to see through this, because this is one of those washi stickers, they call it. And hopefully, whoops, I just pulled the top off of that. It was stuck to my finger. So we'll have to do surgery, put that back on. My fingers are so sticky, everything's sticking to me. Alright, put you back on. Then I'm going to press this down really well, and it just kind of makes it go into the paper so that it doesn't, you don't see a lot of that white around it. You could always trim that white off if you wanted to. I don't take time to do that. It makes the pieces really fragile when you do that. So I found that just pressing them down really well. Yeah, so you can still see our other images through that, but it gives us a little bit of a focal point where everything doesn't look lopsided. So we got 4 done, and I like them. I'll be able to use these in the journals that I have if I can ever get finished with them. Alright, I think that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you don't mind. I would appreciate it. And we'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.